Stories, by their very nature, have beginnings, middles, and endings. They take us on journeys filled with adventures, lessons, and emotions, and eventually, they come to a close. Within these stories, a vibrant world awaits. A prehistoric world that flourishes with life. At first glance, species might seem like contrasting forces. Some vast, wild, or unpredictable, others curious, timid, or perhaps rather docile. Yet, despite these clear differences, deeper layers of life on Earth are profoundly connected. A balance that often goes unnoticed because of its subtlety. However, for those that are willing to look beyond the shallows, a magical world awaits. Life within this living and breathing ecosystem can be incredibly brutal. Yet, amidst this brutality, nature reveals its breathtaking beauty. You see, beauty isn't just a sunset painted in gold, or its rays shimmering on the surface of an ocean blue lake. It's more than that. We start this story in the beginning of June. These two Iguanodon cows have just met, trailing behind the same scent, the scent of a bigger herd. The blistering sun is already ever so present, with its scorching rays warming the rocks and stones that form this age-old canyon. A warm breeze carries the scent of pine trees with hints of earth and mud. These two females are both of similar age and experience when it comes to the world around them. A meeting that was meant to be, it seems. Two Alioramas find themselves running headfirst into the pair. All they want is safe passage. The Iguanodon, however, isn't comfortable at all with their presence. She knows she's big. She knows she's strong, and she has no trouble using that to her advantage. Full of confidence, the two march on into an open area called Hot Springs. This area is quite centered on the Isle of Gondwa, which means high traffic. This is Torvosaurus, an incredibly skilled and patient hunter. Although today he wants nothing more than to continue his travels, and so do the Iguanodon. Hunter and hunted decide to peacefully part ways and move along. Another hour has gone by. The Iguanodon take a moment to fill up on water, which is much deserved in this challenging heat. Though the heat might be a bit too piercing, the two seem in high spirits and not at all deterred by the blistering sun. It is becoming clear that the meeting of these two females was for the best. Playfully, they canter across desolate paths until eventually evening falls and the stars greet them with shimmers of hope and guidance. We start a new day about 50 kilometers to the east. The morning sun coats the leaves, rocks, and its inhabitants in a beautiful golden veil. Though early still, some are already on the move seeking food or company. This Barsboldia lumbers on, unimpressed by the critters and beasts that are scurrying around. However, the same cannot be said for this approaching female Megalania. She's been alone for quite some time and ready to mingle with her own kind, though caution beckons, as Megalania might cannibalize those who are too small or wounded. She rears up on her hind legs, showing the others that she's far too big to eat. Tongue flicking is done to taste the air. Scent is incredibly important to these varanids, as it is used to learn more about the world around them. Both parties are calm and therefore clearly accepting of her into their lounge. Time to bask, relax, and bicker over interesting objects. The same golden sun greets our Iguanodon cows, who are already well on their way. The scent trail is still strong, and it seems like the herd is not far away. The salty sea breeze caresses the beach, a welcome fresh feeling after being underneath the inland sun for most of their travels. the herd responds. Right on that cliffside is where they are, eagerly awaiting the new arrivals. A warm welcome awaits. The calls our females heard functioned like a guiding beacon, leading them here. Through shaking, the two signal they are simply here to join the band, with no intentions of claiming a higher rank. A beautiful and impressive bull shows off his posture, colors, and size. With him, an interested female, clearly fascinated by his creative display. The Iguanodon band is now complete. Time to rest and recharge. We travel back to the Megalanias, who are calmly basking in the early afternoon sun. Apart from one. It's the female who has last joined the lounge, the younger one of the bunch. And she's heard something swimming past, long before she's seen it. Two adult spinosaurs and a ramphie. These huge theropods have chosen this fine spot on the edge of the lake to rest and replenish their thirst. With the tiny flyer picking off dead skin and algae from the Spinosaur's thick hide, these lumbering giants are truly enjoying a spa day. Curiosity gets the better of the Megalania, who are notoriously known for their interest in the world around them. About as brave as a toothpick, these varanids will only approach when their object of focus is laying down or sleeping. Only then are they brave enough to venture forward and inspect. It seems like the little ramphie is not so sure about this situation. And the Spinosaurs, well, they seem to just simply let it happen, mildly entertained perhaps. Weeks have passed, and the two females are thriving. These lands have been providing the herd with more than enough food for all. The nights are long and cold. The warm ocean breeze can turn into a cold, cutting blade of sharp gusts of wind. But when huddled together, these robust hadrosaurs have no trouble falling into a deep slumber. The gentle clashing of waves is almost healing in a way. Many moons are spent together, and even as the season shifts, their friendship remains a steady anchor, their bond a constant amid the ever-changing scenery. until finally, after many moons, the next generation draws breath within the herd. A new day, a new distraction. Just like the Iguanodon herd, the Megalania are on the move. However, moving would be a lot easier if everyone would join in on the plan. Not this young lady. She's too occupied inspecting a pile of bones. Price secured. Now it's time to go. A few last sips of water before the lounge has to travel across stones, stones and stones. They've got quite the walk coming. After hours of dragging on through rugged terrain, finally, the Megalania have found a perfect basking spot. But just as they are settling in, a new subject walks in. Well, there goes the interest in basking. This Eotriceratops bull's frequent shaking indicates one thing: parasites. For him, the arrival of these curious varanids is a welcome sight. The Megalania carefully approach, flicking their tongues and testing to see if the Triceratops won't suddenly get up. Our female sets foot at the scene, equally interested in the massive beast, as well as some tasty parasites. Inspection is only fun and games when the subject is sitting down. As soon as the bull gets up, the brave Megalania scurry back into the lake. As I said, as brave as a toothpick. From the open fields close to sea to the dense forests more inland, the fragrant smell of pine trees, moss and damp earth feels familiar and inviting. A gentle breeze brushes up against the migrating giants, as if Mother Earth invites them in. As dawn gently awakens, the sky is painted in a soft, ethereal shade of purple. Today, the light of day seems to be in slumber, awakening a sense of wonder and a calm. The bull broadcasts, sending vibrations throughout the valley, signaling his band to keep on moving. His females are not far behind, trustfully following his lead as the mighty guardian confidently threads on. But within the herd, slight conflict stirs. One of the females is carrying a seashell, playfully cantering around. This seems to not be appreciated by everyone. Her friend runs to her aid, telling off the playful female as she's positioning herself between the two. For these two young females, life can be quite the hassle. So many new experiences, and sometimes it can just be a bit too overwhelming. Luckily for them, their bond has grown quite a bit over the months. supporting one another in life's daily challenges, even when the challenge is nothing more than a slight routine change. All settled at their new temporary grounds, the bull wastes no time in showing himself and his interests to the ladies. He seems to have locked his eyes on one of the young adult females who's still trying to process life itself. She's confused, taken back, and most definitely not aware of what's actually happening. Frequent shaking and walking away indicates that she is not feeling his advances. Better luck next time. You can almost feel it, can't you? The afternoon sun bathing the world in its gentle golden glow. Its warmth seeps softly into your skin, whilst the water embraces like a cool, soothing blanket, shimmering in the light of the sun. The Megalania are basking, regenerating energy. Their heart rate lowers, their breathing slows down, and they become one with the elements. The cool water helps regulate their temperatures should the sun become too strong. With their noses pointed up, they make the most of this relaxing time before it is time to get moving. Evening is here. After spending the entire day basking and laying around, the Megalania are hungry. With rumbling stomachs, the lounge moves more inland in hopes of finding a meal. What they do find is too alert already. They have been spotted. Soon, however, their hunger will come to an end. The long sun-drenched days and warm, balmy evenings create the perfect backdrop for new beginnings and perhaps blossoming romances. The once timid and quiet female now radiates a different energy. Being at peace around trusted herd members, she can now focus on a new chapter in her life. Slowly, her interest towards the caring and protective bull has grown. Some females collect a gift to initiate courtship, and that is exactly why she's picked a beautiful white flower. Intrigued, she gazes upon the courtship display, not missing a single detail. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes these changes happen so suddenly that it can be difficult to grasp what's happening. Eventually, her friend will understand and perhaps follow in her footsteps. The sun is gone. Light has left these lands. Darkness has now invaded the valley and brought gifts, it seems. An old bull, deaf and blind. His senses lost to time. His pride withered as old age reclaims his soul with nothing more than blackness ahead. The scent of weakness fills the air, and like a favorite perfume, it draws the hungry predators in. The air shifts. An eerie blanket covers the earth as if it were ice and ice-cold to the touch. Like assassins, the Megalania trail behind the unsuspecting bull, waiting for the most opportune moment. In the remaining last daylight, the Iguanodon band settles down for the night. Well, most of them. The younglings aren't too keen on sleeping just yet, as they are frolicking around with Mom. In a moment of separation between Mom and one of her offspring, the young female dares to come a bit closer. Intrigued, she inspects the little one, oblivious to any activity around her. The juvenile stands tall, trying to match size. Alas, she's not as big as the adults just yet. Her mother turns around and comes back, bellowing at the curious female to keep her distance. Life is full of lessons. Some students are simply a bit quicker to catch up than others. However, time is by her side. She'll learn eventually. In fact, a new life's lesson is about to unfold right before her very eyes. Her friend has been calling her over. Within the leaves and undergrowth, a nest is being built, and the mum-to-be most definitely wants her loyal friend by her side in these exciting times. But they are not alone. Hidden amidst the foliage, another pair of eyes has been following their movements for quite some time, silently keeping track of their every single move. many moons were spent together. But now, as the season shifts, their steady anchor is no longer. Their bond a memory amidst the ever-changing scenery. In the quiet moments when shadows seem to stretch endlessly, it's easy to feel lost in the darkness. Yet after every fall, there is a chance to rise stronger than before. The band has been greatly expanding its numbers the past weeks, and ultimately, it reminds us that no matter how long the night, the dawn will always come, bringing with it hope, renewal, and the promise that life will always find a way to shine again. Just a few more miles until the band will reach Sanctuary, a prized location amongst Iguanodon. Here, they will settle, and with lots of eggs on the way, life will soon flourish once again. With the arrival of more bulls, competitive behavior is inevitable. Now that the band has settled in their new home, contest for power and leadership begins. Each bull is confident, powerful, and determined to grasp the attention of the watchful cows. Our female is one of the last to arrive on scene, and she can feel the tension hanging in the air. By flashing bright, contrasting colors, they hope to stand out above the others. Through posturing, the bulls hope to intimidate one another. Fights aren't common, but they do happen, especially when two bulls are equally matched and cocky. Lashing out, rearing up, posturing, bellowing, it's all done to prove their overall fitness and capability to be an excellent leader. However, winning over the ladies with brute force doesn't appeal to every female within the band. True interest for cows within a band often lie within a bull's strength and capability to tend to the herd. Strength is valuable, but it is the ability to be gentle, respectful, and emotionally intelligent that often wins over a mate in the long run. And for our lonely female who has just recently lost her beloved friend, a tender heart is exactly what she needs. The lessons we gather from what has passed become the seeds for what is yet to come. Even in times of loss or change, there's a quiet promise that life continues, always finding its way back to those that walk the earth.